Hello students, welcome to online lecture series for software engineering KCS 601. Myself Dr. Inderjit Kaur, Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. In the previous lectures, we have discussed all the phases of SDLC till testing. We started with software requirements, means gathering all the information, then doing the planning, then we move on to the making a detailed design, then we move on to the coding, then we have discussed the testing. In this lecture series, we will discuss about the software maintenance phase, that is the last phase of SDLC. So, we will start with the software as an evolutionary entity, and then we will discuss about what is the need for doing the software maintenance. So, before discussing, let us give a brief wrap of our SDLC. As I said ki SDLC, we started with the planning, what all information we expect from our software, for which informations we are going to develop the software. So, from this planning we are gathering all the requirements and we are going to define them. Till now, here we are making a standard document, that is known as SRS, that stands for Standard Requirement Specification Sheet. Then we are moving towards design and prototyping. Now, we want to make the detailed design sheet and then we will move on to the coding part. So, either we can prepare a prototype, we can deliver it to the customers and then give the feedback, and based on that feedback we can have the entire software to be developed in the later stages. So, here the software development starts. This development, it starts with module by module. From the design phase, we are coming to know that we will be designing 4 or 5 functions or 6 functions. Take the example of designing a calculator. Suppose we want to include addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, factorial, square root, these functions into our main program. So, these functions they should be defined firstly. So, defining these functions, they are known as writing the code for them. So, these modules, the code will be written and the modules they will be tested. That testing, that is known as the unit testing. So, as we write the first module, we will test it ki whether the results they are coming correct, means whatever valid input we are giving, the expected output is coming the same or no. So, is there any deviation, we will change in our code. If we are giving improper or invalid input, what is the result coming? So, accordingly the unit testing will take place and the results, there will be a change in the modules that will be told to the developer accordingly. So, once we are done with this unit testing complete, these modules they will be now integrated together to have a integration testing. Then we will be checking the entire system by doing the system testing. Then after system testing, we will involve the customer to perform the acceptance testing. That means, here the user acceptance testing will come into the picture and the software will be deployed. First, the internal company persons they will be checking the software for its acceptance, then it will be deployed. Here the deployment phase comes. So, it will be deployed to the customers to have a look and to perform the testing, that is where the beta testing comes into the picture. So, when they are doing, after doing this beta testing, the software released comes, and then here we are in the operation and maintenance phase. Only developing the software is not the task. The task is how we operate it and how we handle it for the long years in the future. So, how we handle it? There are various approaches, and that phase is known as software maintenance. So, take the example, suppose we build the house. Making a new house means we will be having our map being planned by the architecture, then the constructor is going to construct it, the different rooms, the different furnitures and finishing, that all takes place under development. Then it is being deployed to you. Once we start living, then there comes the need for doing the operation and maintenance. If we do not maintain our house, it will be vanished. The different components, it will start deteriorating and the product will vanish soon. Same is the case with the software. We require software to be maintained also. So, for going to the software maintenance, firstly we should know ki what exactly is maintenance and why it is required. Software maintenance, as we come to the know from the last slide, it is the last phase of my SDLC, means software development life cycle. After the product is being released, the changing requirements, if they are now meeting or no, and how they are pruning to my software, for that software maintenance is required. It involves approximately 40 to 70% of the cost. Development cost is low, requirement gathering cost is too low, then testing is high, and then maintenance cost is very large for our entire SDLC cost. So, this maintenance consists of correcting the errors. Error correction means capability enhancements. How my software is capable if it is being enhanced, some new features are being added to it, and how my software is reacting when I am deleting some obsolete capabilities, and how prone it is to optimization. Is it optimized or it requires optimization? So, that maintenance is consisting of all these things. Then let us understand software as an evolutionary entity. Software evolution, it is defined as a process of developing, how we are going to develop it, maintaining, how we are going to maintain it, and updating my software for the following reasons. Updating means how my software is handling the changes in requirement, how my software is handling the environment changes, how my software is reacting if somebody is doing the security breach, how my software is reacting if some equipments they are being added or deleted, how my software is evolving to some improvements. Is there any scope of doing improvements or no? So, if we start these phases as per the diagram, we start with the change identification process. So, we start with the change, how much changes are possible in my software. We start with that. If it is possible, then a change proposal is being given. So, when change proposal is submitted, the software evolution process, here it comes to the picture, because now I start doing the updations as per this changes proposal. Then after this software evolution process, I am ready with my new system. Fine. So, here I can say ki my software is capable of doing improvements, capable of doing addition of the equipments, capable of requirement change, and now I am with the new system. Now, again the same process can be carried out if I want to add some new features further. Then there are some laws being defined for the software evolution, because it is to be defined as the global process. It is not ki my company can evolve the software, some other company can evolve the software in different kind. So, it is a globally task, defined task. So, there are some software evolution laws. It was being proposed by Lehman, and he says ki the software evolution laws, they are being divided into 3 types. First is my S type, that says for static type. Then second is my P type, P stands for practical type, and third one is my E type, that says for embedded type. Let us discuss one by one. Start with the static type. Static type means it works exactly as per the well defined specifications and the solutions. Both the solutions and the methods that we will be going to follow, they should be understood before we start the coding. Then it is least subjected to the changes, that is why it is a very easy approach. The example for doing this S type, static type, is to write the calculator program using mathematical inventions. Then the second approach is my P type. P type means practical type. Practical type, it works with the collection of different procedures or functions. It can have the defined specifications, but solutions, they need to be further defined. Take the example of gaming software. We have the defined specifications, the practical type, it does not show us the different functions, it shows us the visual view of gaming. Then the third, embedded type, E type. Embedded type means it works with the real time situations requirements. There is a large level of progress for various changes in laws and taxes. So, it incorporates those. If we take the example of online trading software, that is a kind of embedded type. Then what is software maintenance? We can say whatever amendments in the software product we can do after delivery of the software, so as if there are coming faults, we can correct them, we can increase the performance, and we can change the other attributes, that is defined as the software maintenance. It consists of the fixing of defects. This software maintenance is defined as a process of updating a system once it has been delivered. So, what we are doing, the correcting of errors and doing the changes as per the new system, that we are doing in the product after its delivery. So, this is, here we can see we started with planning, then we coded it, we built the product, we tested it, we released it, then we have deployed it. Here comes the operation and the monitoring stage, where my maintenance is coming into the picture. So, there are standard definitions of software maintenance given by IEEE and ISO. As per IEEE, software maintenance is defined as the changes of software after delivery to fix the faults, so as to increase the performance and other attributes to adjust my product to the new environment. That is the definition as per IEEE. Now, move on to the as per ISO standards. ISO says the sequence of tasks that are being performed when my software it undergoes to the modifications in the code and other various associated documents because of the problems, or there is a chances of improvement in the software or there is a adaptation. So, this is the definition as per ISO. Next comes the aim for doing the software maintenance. The first and foremost aim, we want to correct the errors that are coming in my software product even after the product is being delivered. Then the second is to enhance the software by changing its functions. Then The third aim for doing the software maintenance, we want to update my software to the coming user changing needs. Then we want to adapt the software to cope with the changing environment. Then there comes the need for defining the software maintenance. Why we need the software maintenance? As I said in the previous slide, we want to fix the errors. We want to tune up with the evolving user requirements. We want to alter some hardware or some software settings. We want to configure new hardware. We want to change some features of my existing software. Then I have to define, then there is a need for software maintenance. I want to increase the efficiency of my system. That can only be done once I am maintaining it. So, there is a need for optimizing the code so that it can run faster. Suppose I want to change the components, then again there is a need for software maintenance. I want to eliminate the unwanted side effects residing in my code. I want to eliminate the unwanted modules that are not being used in my software. So, they are obsolete now. So, they should be deleted. So, that is there is a need for doing the software maintenance. So, the software maintenance is required to confirm that now my system is continuing to fulfill the user requirements. Requirements are getting changed. So, the software should also be changed. So, I have to decide that my software will be fulfilling the new changed user requirements or no. So, that is a confirmation that I have to give. That confirmation can be given once I can maintain my software. Then, why the software require maintenance? As we have discussed the example of maintaining our home. So, likewise the software also require maintenance, that is for doing the bug fixing, that is bug fixing is required to run the software without error. Then I want to find and correct the errors in my code. Bug fixing can arise in hardware, the bugs can arise in software or operating system also. Then I want to enhance the capability of my software, for that maintenance is needed. That is, I want to incorporate the new features, I want to incorporate the new functions in the software with time. So, that I want to enhance my software. That is, I want to develop the software platform, means different work patterns, or I want to upgrade my hardware or different compilers I want to add that are affecting my workflow. So, to enhance further my software and hardware both, so that the new features they are being catered in my software, that is capability enhancement is required. That is why maintenance is required in the software. Then the host modification. Host modification means it keeps the adaptability as per changed OS at the target host. Suppose there is a changed operating system, the customer has changed the entire operating system to Ubuntu or any other kind of OS, and I have developed the code on some other Windows operating system or some other operating system. So, how adaptable is my software to tune up with that host modification? That is why maintenance is required. Then to cope up with the different market conditions, that is it maintains the bookkeeping log with the changed taxation policies that triggers the need for doing the software modification. Then is the organization changes. It may be the case the organization can also change with the change in the business level at the client end. So, to cope up with the organization change, again maintenance is required by the software. Then removal of outdated functions, as it is also being discussed earlier कि I want to remove the unwanted functions or procedures from my software that are affecting my software efficiency. Then I want to make my system more adaptive so that it can handle all the changing requirements. Then I want to improve my performance of the entire system, that is the main aim. Now, let us discuss ki why software maintenance cost is too high. We can see in the SDLC every phase is consuming some time and effort. So, here effort in the term of cost is being shown. In the requirement phase, it consumes 3%, design it consumes 8% of the entire SDLC cost, implementation it consumes the 7% cost of my entire software, testing it includes the 15% of the software. Now, how to maintain that software in the entire market over a longer period of time, that is the biggest challenge. For that 67% of the cost for my entire software is given to the software maintenance phase. Why and how? There is a separate lecture for the cost of software maintenance phase. So, now let us discuss the factors that are affecting the maintenance cost. As there are changes, they are often left undocumented. So, that is the reason for there comes the conflicts. Then there is a standard age of any software, it is considered to be 10 to 15 years. What after 10 to 15 years? These older software, they work on slow machines. So, that is having the less memory and storage capacity, that again increases the maintenance cost. So, with the technology enhancements, it becomes very tedious and it becomes very costly to maintain this old software, and we have to make the new software. So, either our old software should have the capability to tune up with these new changes, or directly we should switch over to the new software. Then often changes that they are not easily hurt using the original structure of the software, and it becomes very hard to find these subsequent changes. Then factors affecting the maintenance cost in the terms of software, that is the structure of software program that needs to be completely changed, that again increases the software cost, software maintenance cost. Then there may be the change of programming language. The programming language, is it not adaptive to the new features? Then there is a dependency on the external environment. Again there is a need for coming to the new environment as per the changes. So, the cost will be increased. Then the staff reliability and the availability of the staff, that is again the major factor for increasing the maintenance cost. So, this was all about the SDLC phases, a brief that has been taken, and then we have taken the software as an evolutionary entity, and then we have discussed why there is a need for software maintenance and how it is taking most of the cost and effort, that is almost 40 to 70% of the effort is consumed in software maintenance to make it a operational. Entire software cost gets decreased if the errors they are not being found in the earlier stages. So, the need, the aim and the approach for the software maintenance is discussed. In the next lectures, we will be discussing the various approaches for the software maintenance. Thank you.